After 9,000 miles, 3 planes, and the pleasure of being frisked 3 times, sniffed up by a dog, and having the tread checked on my shoe, I have made it here to the beautiful island of Tahiti. Hello, my name is Jeremiah, and the Jeweler's Web has sent me on a mission to find the source of the most beautiful pearl in the world, the Queen of Pearls, the Royal Tahitian Black Pearl. After coming all the way across the world looking for the most valuable, beautiful pearl, the Tahitian pearl, I find out that they don't come from Tahiti, that I'm going to have to make some arrangements, do some investigative work, maybe pay a little bit of money here and there, to find where they really come from and get them directly from the source.
We're going to have a special Tahitian festival that we're going to tonight and show you Teiki Village. It's world famous. You're going to love it. Great show coming up.
There's some kind of rough characters that we're going to have to do some bribing and conniving with here to find out exactly how we can find out where these pearls are from. After spending the day in Tahiti, it became apparent that I'm going to have to go to a littler island where there's a group of workers that go out and work 6 months out of the year at pearl farms. They live in a little place called Teiki Village, and supposedly tonight one of the biggest, most beautiful pearls in all of French Polynesia is going to be on display at Teiki Village.
It's just more beautiful than words or pictures can ever tell you. You'll have to come here and see it for yourself and get the full view.
So I have to find out how to get to Teiki Village, and I'm going to go up here to a little tiny village in the mountains and talk to some farmers. They farm pineapples in one time of the year and then pearls the other time of the year. Now, Teiki Village is a cluster of about 40 or 50 hutches and kind of occupational village cottage industry here, and it's on the far side of this island of Moria. Tonight, some special pearl is going to be there, supposedly worth more money than all of New York City.
Well, we think we found a dirt road back here about a mile to go way past in those mountains to a fantastic natural waterfall. Well, there's the cascade. Still a ways to go, and as you can see, runs all year long, but it's at the low point. Frothy, white, beautiful waterfall. Still got some ways to go. A little tricky. The trail's getting tougher, and we're getting closer.
Now, I've just been looking for pearls in this pool here. It's gorgeous, but no pearls, so. And it's a great place to see the traditional living. And there's going to be a feast there tonight, some special occasion. One of the most beautiful, largest pearls of all French Polynesia will be there tonight. Now, that mountain over there is, we have to get over that, and on the other coast of the island is where Teiki Village is. There's some of the guards out there patrolling the outside of Teiki Village. There it is. All right, we're going to have to sneak down here and kind of mingle with all the natives and see if we can find out where we're going to meet our inside undercover agent Tiavano. It's early in the day, a few natives around, and they've convinced me that if I really want to find the pearls and be accepted into the pearl culture, I'll have to get a native Tahitian tattoo.
So you've got this great turtle. It really does look good as well on your shoulder. You can't see it, but I can tell you it looks good. And you've got another one on the other shoulder. You're going to have lots more.
No, that one on my left shoulder is the only other tattoo I have, and I got that one when I turned 21. I can't believe I'm here doing this, but finished subject.
And he has tattooed a pearl and a turtle and a Tahitian cross on me.
And this is what the big Tahitian feast is all about. We just go look through here. It's everything imaginable, all naturally organic, cooked the traditional good way, and we can't wait to eat because we haven't ate all day except for a little bag of potato chips.
Oh, this is the most beautiful pearl we've seen so far yet. Not quite what we're looking for. She's from royal blood. She's from Huahine. She is the Pearl Princess. Not quite what we were expecting, but she has a cousin, Tiavano, the guy we're looking for, the tattoo man. She's going to make introductions with us and give us some information on some of her relatives that can go along as an interpreter and help smooth the way for us on this next part of this adventure that's getting quite exciting and a little dangerous too. I'm supposed to meet with a guy named Tiavano. He's supposedly some really tough kind of shady characters, and the way we can find him is he's got 700 tattoos on him. For a measly sum of $1,000, he's going to lay out a plan and give us some connections how to get out and find the pearls and the pearl dealers coming straight out of the water. Tattooed Tiavano says come after the show, and he will give me the name and the phone number for somebody that's going to help us tomorrow. His name's Alexander. This is the American Idiot Dance. They got me out there and insisted that I join in the fun. And I'll tell you what, I felt like an idiot. They said, do it like this. Yeah, get out of there. We want to thank you so much. It was a great show. You're not quite what you're looking for. But folks, we're going to go see her cousin tomorrow. He's going to spend the week with us, and only $1,000. We got one other thing to check out first, though. Well, here we've came to this great deal that this guy brought us to only cost us $200, and it's a tourist trap here in some fancy hotel on this island. Look at the prices, folks. $227,000 for a ring. That's like $2,000. Look at that necklace. 2.5 million francs. That's like $25,000. We've been ripped off. This ain't the source of the pearls. Can we get our $200 back from that guy? Let's go back to Tahiti and meet this guy, Alex Collins. Well, this is the 5th contact since we've been in the islands. This rendezvous was set up from the Princess the other night. Let's hope it works out better.
Generally is architecture by trade, but his family's been in the pearl business for 3 or 4 generations, and he's a lot of relatives. Tomorrow morning, is it 11, we're going to get on that ferry?
He has a little bit of royal blood in him. His name is Alexander Collins, and he's going to take us and be our interpreter for 5 days for $1,000, and he supposedly has connections.
Yeah, it's for the Tahitian feast.
Tahitian feast? Maybe
Big
we'll come back in a couple
feast.
years and get to film the first Tahitian feast.
No, this should be done by August.
Yeah. Have you ever went to that Teiki village in Warrior?
Yeah.
That's a good one, isn't it? It's all authentic, right?
It's actually pretty funky, man. Those guys actually do live there.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
They're like,
I've seen it.
they live there, man. And they live off tattoos and stuff. So it's kind of cool. Oh, hey, how you doing?
This is some of Alex's connection here. This is Patrick. He's from another way out island called Manahi. And we spent about an hour and a half negotiating and chewing the old mullets around, and we ended up negotiating a good deal on the best 136 pearls that he'd brought for a mere 275,000 francs.
Wes, that's about as big as you'll ever see second grass stuff right there. Yeah. Give you an idea here. This one here, 15 millimeter right there. About the size of a jumbo marble. We made a good deal, right? Say hi. Okay.
Now this is an aerial view of an atoll. The inside is the lagoon. It's 2 to 50 feet deep inside that strip of land. Outside goes down to 5,000 feet in this part of the Pacific. Here they are, folks, the Queen of Pearls, the most beautiful pearls in the world. The only pearl that comes in every color of the rainbow. Here they sit in their host oyster, the rare giant black-lip pearl oyster. In the wild, they can live up to 15 years. This one is only 4 to 5 years old.
We're in Babete right now, and we will take the Hotumaru that will take us. Katiu, right there.
24-hour boat ride across the open ocean, and we'll be showing that to you on the film here pretty soon.
We were supposed to leave at 11 o'clock. We got here early, like 9 o'clock in the morning, and I'm saying, come on, when are we going? Let's go, let's get going. He had all kinds of problems. He had to search the boat, check the boat. Some of the crew didn't show up. It was a hot day, and it turns out we had to help load the boat.
I'll tell you what, guys, I'm serious. If we have some problem with this boat, it looks like it's going to sink. Us three get together, and we get one of them lifeboats. We'll take it back with all the pearls and money. We'll fight for that boat right there, okay?
About 20 tons of cargo, and it was a hot day, about 90 and 90. 90 degrees temperature, 90% humidity. Turns out our cruise was a BYOFWB. That's bring your own food, water, and blanket. They did give us a 2-inch mat to sleep on, though. Now we're 9 passengers, 20 tons of cargo, which we help load. Well, here's some panoramic views of this beautiful island that we're leaving. The boat was supposed to leave at 11. Now it's about 4 o'clock. We didn't know we were going to get off, but it was a lot of work loading it up, but it's beautiful. And folks, we hope you're enjoying it because we're living it and loving it. Come on, the adventure is just getting better and better. Here's a beautiful panoramic view of the big island of Tahiti. Beautiful as we watch the sun go down after taking a slow boat that was 5 hours late. Here's some of our shipmates now. This man we later became known as Teiki, also a pearl farmer. This guitar player was playing for us, but he also was a pearl diver, and we traded a couple of pair of sunglasses, a watch, and 25,000 francs for 13 of the most beautiful pearls you ever seen. I seen the Southern Cross last night for the first time, and I just couldn't sleep at all. I was so excited.
This is our first stop of 3 islands on this leg of the journey. It's called Tahiti. And next we go to Tanahi. And then we go to Katiu. There's Alex.
26 hours at sea.
Yeah.
We see land before us.
Now we've hit land after 24 hours, and the boat's going to be here for 2 or 3 hours, getting off some cargo and a few passengers. So I'm going to socialize with the natives, try to speak a little French, and do some pearl buying. I did have pretty good luck. I did manage to buy about another 150 pearls, but the boat was about to leave without me. In fact, they had to send someone searching for the crazy American, and was even undocked. And you see me swing over here and climb up on the boat. The boat was about to leave me. Had to jump on.
That's how John Wayne does it.
Finally find ourselves in Katiu. About 3 o'clock in the morning, and our host doesn't seem to be here yet. So.
And that host problem would turn out to be a little bit of a problem, but no fear, we will overcome. Now, this is a big event once a week when the boat arrives at the island. It won't take long. There'll be a lot of people and dogs out here. Even though it's 3 o'clock in the morning, 3:30 in the morning, you already see some people queuing up to see who's coming in. And little do they know that it's the Jewelers Web famous crew of Jeremiah Hartman and Kiva McGalley and our buddy Alex there. Here we're going to be unloading our diving equipment, film equipment. And I'm coming down. This is part of the crew of the boat. I had just woke up sleeping on the foam mat, and this has been a long trip for me. Myself, though, 8,000 miles, 4 days, 5 islands, 3 airplanes, and a slow boat. And here I'm about to step foot on the island of Katiu, which turns out to be my favorite island now. Don't film me when I look like this, please. Nobody speaks English here either, so that was a little bit humorous. Now we're experiencing the sunrise of Katiu, one of God's little paradise islands tucked away in the South Pacific that produces the most beautiful pearls in the world. We've heard about the place. It's a secret. With some bribery and connivery, we have made it. Now you're looking at a photograph in the background, and that rock formation there is a community fishing trap. A very tight community here. This particular island has 2 passes. This is the main pass. And the water flowed outward for 5 days. And inside the lagoon, inside the island, inside the atoll, these are atoll islands, it's very calm. As you go out there, you see the water gets quite a bit rough. That current meets that open, deep ocean. You go from 10, 20 feet deep to 1,000 feet deep in a matter of yards.
You said I met you and I couldn't remember, but now that I see you, I remember,
Yeah, you remember the face.
Yeah. You know that's where the new market
How you doing?
Tahitian Pearls is America.
Oh, yeah.
That's where the growing market is. That's where the new market
That's
is.
great. Really great.
We're doing our best to promote them and everything.
Yeah.
You know, Japan used to be the big market. Japan sold them to Europe. And, and now America's the new #1 market.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
But you're going on to Tahiti now.
Yeah, well, I'm on lunch.
Well, we appreciate you letting us stay here and that, and
Yeah.
maybe we'll
Yeah,
see you on Monday. 'Cause what time? We'll get there Monday.
On Monday, yeah.
And then maybe you have some pearls to sell
I
Monday.
have something like less than 2,000 pearls right now.
Now, Calixte, that was just speaking there, was obliged to leave because his wife, that you'll see on the back of the boat here, became deathly ill with either food poisoning or water poisoning.
Ill. So since there's no doctor in town, she gets
No doctor in town, no hospital in town.
Only boat that comes here once a week. Just
Left,
left.
the boat just left.
Now we did buy 100 gallons of gas for $500, so if someone will take us to another island, so we can get a plane down here on Monday and go on to another island. Went all over looking for the best Tahitian pearls, the best deals, the best quality.
All right, Alex, we're going to have to find out who's got the pearls, who's got the best farm. Now, the building we're walking up to here is the community service and the school next door to it. And the water is so beautiful, so pure, so clean, with gorgeous children. About 50 kids on the island here, and it is a tight little community. Everybody lives basically right here in this one small village or village. One of the teachers. Now, here we're walking down Main Street, Katiu, and the prominent building on Katiu happens to be the Catholic Church right here, and it is a beautiful church. It sustains the spiritual needs of the people here. Said it took 50 years to build this church. And this is the coral in the reef. This is my good friend Tahiti. He is the pastor, the priest of the island. He'd been praying for money. Money's always in short supply here. And God answered his prayers in a way because we came with cash and spent a lot of money with him. Not only is Tahiti the priest of the island in this church here, he's also a pearl farmer. A very fair, dedicated man. Dedicated to his people, to his church. He's a Pulmato through and through. Now we're getting down into Calixte's workboat. We got our gas. You see I'm still carrying my red bag because that's full of Federal Reserve notes. Now, Calixte's farm crew here are mainly Tahitians from the island of Tahiti or Moria. French guy, Laurence there. Used to work for one of the world's largest pearl farmers, but there was a little bit of some kind of difficulty, which I can't tell you right now. Little did we know, but this was going to be home, sweet home for 3 or 4 days. This is where we slept and worked in the day. About 5 o'clock, we cleaned all the mess off. the crew would go on the shore to their boats and their huts to sleep.
This is where we're sleeping.
After a good night of eating and drinking.
Back with the divers and stuff, and what you're looking at here are tiny oysters, probably about a year old. They have
This is, what you see here, they're taking out what they call the conectadas, which is just basically the harvesting of the baby oysters. And they have these little plastic, homemade plastic traps where the little baby oysters kind of go in there and kind of feel safe and then glue onto the plastic and then just start growing. And then they're going to prep them and then put them back in the water, and 2 years later they'll be ready for grafting. So they're already planning for the future here. And all of these aren't the oysters we want, these white ones. And as you can see, we have a lot of different species of oysters that kind of get on here. And this is ideally what we want. This is basically what are keepers. So they have to, out of all these, millions of little oysters that stuck on there, this is pretty much all they managed to get. Here what our friends there is doing is preparing the oysters that were big enough to, well actually they weren't big enough to be grafted, so they're going to put them in these cages here so that the fisher boy can't eat them.
And maybe 5 years ago, they used to buy oysters from another atoll.
Exactly.
But now that's not allowed to do it, is it?
It's no longer allowed on the island of Katiu because they've seen that by importing from other atolls, they'll import also whatever disease that they have. They might have developed on another atoll and then bring it here and spread it to the other, to all the oysters on the island, basically. And these oysters are very prone to be seriously affected with when there's temperature changes. They do better in cold weather, for instance, when the water is nice and cold, and the mother of pearl tends to be nicer and have a better consistency to it. The selection process that is very critical to determining the color of the pearl you're going to get. She's selecting where on this end, see we got some nice color right around this edge, and that's what you need. So now she's going to cut up the lip of the Pinctada Mararitifera, and that's going to be our graft. That's what's going to go and cover the nuclei after a year and a half, and then I'll start making the pearl.
That strip of tissue right there would do about 30 oysters. Now after a long day, the sun's starting to get down, we're cleaning the fiery groff up, putting the oysters back in the water. And that step that you just seen where they sacrifice an oyster to make the other oysters, very important step, takes very skilled hands.
Let's go for a walk.
This island is huge.
Alex, maybe you should tell them about it, about the coconut here.
Well, it
And
looks
what we
like
might
these
do
are the
tonight.
marks of Katiu. Katiu is basically the caviar of the Tuamotus. It's a crab that eats coconuts, and it's got pincers strong enough to do this. We haven't filmed him yet because he only comes out at night, and during the day he burrows down deep in the hole.
Come on up here, folks. What we're doing right now, folks, is we're crossing the atoll to the ocean side. We're looking for old ruins. These islands possibly were inhabited for 500 years on and off. We're trying to get out more information on that, but we've heard that there's some possible ruins or foundations over here from maybe a couple hundred years ago or something. Keep in mind that this island probably wasn't discovered by a white person until about 1857. Come on along with us now. We're going to show you some of the real tropical jungle here.
This island is about 180 miles around it, yet the population is 250 people. Enchanting, beautiful, but also very dangerous in ways you wouldn't think of. Where a small cut can become an infection that could be life-threatening. Walking out in the ocean, you have to look out for spiny oysters, urchins, poisonous fish, sharks. Razor-sharp coral, drowning. Now, in the past, the British had discovered these Polynesian islands. The first religion was Christianity, the Protestants. Some of the French came in with the Catholics. So they did have a small war back in the old days.
At this point, we're not too far from Calixte's farm. The land basically extends from the seaside way to the lagoon. Now here's a bit of an old establishment here. It's been wiped out probably by a previous cyclone. Straight that way to Tahiti, about 350 miles across that open ocean.
At present day, the island of Katiu only has 3 automobiles on it.
Skink. Yeah, this is a Suzuki. Yeah, 74 it says on the...
We are going to get an airport here. There's a very tired pearl trader. And his buddy. You learn patience out here in the South Pacific.
Yeah, this is the only snack, meaning the only little restaurant in town. But there is another little general store on the other side of the island. But it's definitely the nicest. Nicely clean.
For the record again, how many people live here?
200.
200. Is that counting the children?
Yeah, if you count the children, it's about 250 people living here. So not that many.
That's our first sunset on Katiu.
Oh. I don't want it. Hey! That's a small caviar.
All right, folks, here you go. Here's what one of these monster crabs look like. This is all land crab. It's called the Katiu. Take a look here. This one was caught on the island late last night. Notice those powerful claws. You wouldn't want to get your finger caught in one of these. I bet the crocodile guy wouldn't mess with one of these. Didn't take us long to fill it home here. But now for the exciting times. Since there's only 3 cars on the whole island, most people travel around by boat. Everybody's got boats. There's probably more boats on the island than there is people. Now we're going out on Teiki's boat to harvest the pearls. The pearl-bearing oysters, it's our favorite part of the job. There's Teiki, Alex, and a couple of Teiki's workers. The actual pearl farm is several miles offshore in the middle of the lagoon, and it's kind of a hidden site. You have to look for landmarks because there is pearl rustlers down here. Pearls are hidden just below the surface, hanging from buoy lines. And Teiki knows exactly where his pearls are hidden. Everybody has binoculars to try to keep an eye on these things here. Now this is turning out to be my favorite part. This is the actual pearl farming. Now you're seeing hundreds of hanging oysters there. 1 out of 3 oysters is going to have a pearl in it. But only 1 out of 3 pearls that you find is going to be round or semi-round. Only 1 out of 25 pearls is going to be around AB quality. So as you see, this is difficult, dangerous physical work. It's much harder than it looks here, folks. And It's very hard speaking to you under the water here. We are free diving. No one has a bottle. The only compressor on the island broke last month. I've gotten where I can hold my breath for about 90 seconds is it. Some of these guys I'm swimming with could hold their breath for 3.5 minutes. And I thought I was a tough guy. Now everybody's kind of watching each other's back here because the sharks are here and they're in full force. There's about 50 men that dive either fishing or pearl diving for a living here. In the last 5 years, 10% of them have been bit. That is by sharks. 10% of the diving male population have been wounded recently by the sharks. This is Teiki. We met him on the Hotu Maru coming to Katiu. He was nice enough to let us sleep in his guest bungalow a couple of nights on the island. Now he's letting us film his pearl farm. He was a little nervous of us at first. The initial inspection looks great. These oysters have been growing here for about 2 years, and we're lucky enough to be here in the time to buy them, or at least give it a try. We're going to help harvest some of these, bring them to shore, and see if we got any pearls.
Now, when the oysters are old or they seem weak and won't take a graft, we take them back out to the coral heads and we release them to spawn out the remaining days. And this helps the reproduction of the natural wild oysters. It's kind of a nice thing if you're an old oyster to get put out to spawn the rest of your days. And that's what we're doing here.
Sorry about that. You have to keep in mind we are trained amateurs.
Come in, Finn. Diesen? Diesen?
This is Leopold grabbing the loot and loading it into the boat. And man, we're loading this boat down.
Take a look in the boat here and you'll see that we did get a pretty good score. Teiki even did some diving too.
Now it's back to Taiki's hut to open the oysters and see what bountiful treasures we might get.
But these are pretty clean, man. These are actually pretty clean oysters, man. Because those stuff you get in Mahi is covered with stuff. This is actually pretty clean. See this stuff? This stuff that goes on it.
Very interesting.
This kind of sticks on it.
So I guess we have the pleasure, folks, of being able to see what comes out of these 3 oysters here in just a couple of minutes. I'm excited.
Teiki's hut is built right on the shore of the pass. It's elevated about 7 feet, a very convenient place to come and bring your oysters in.
And there he's installing some little wedges just to, and that's the room that the grafter has to operate with. His little operating desk right over there. Right here is the most important guy in the farm because he's basically the guy that's going to determine the quality of your harvest. He is basically the artist behind the insertion of the nuclei, which is the most important part of the process. And as you can see, he's got his tools laid out. Certain grafters have their own tools specially made to their own special technique. Each farmer has his own technique and his own affinity to graft.
Not only is he a grafter, he is a native here of the islands, and he's also the farmer and producer himself.
Farmer and producer. He used to work for 6 years for another farm, and then decided to go for business for himself. He has it inside because it's a whole technique. He has to push the lip back, then he has to get back in there and make a slight incision and squeeze the pearl right out. There's the first pearl we come out.
Oh, and it's
like
a
an
beauty
11
too.
millimeter gray round pearl.
Yeah, it looks to be nice quality too.
Another
Oh, that's nice quality. Hold that up to him and show him on the camera. Oh, he threw it in the water. So far we're shooting 50% on the oysters there.
One good, one not good. So this is why it's so difficult to get the nice ones. We get a lot of this stuff, cashews and odd-shaped pearls. You can see we've harvested 1, 2, 3, 4 pearls. For oysters, we only have 1 pearl so far. That's kind of exciting, though, huh?
Yeah, it is.
See them
Got
come
a couple
out.
of white ones down there.
Yeah,
That's
those are nice,
they look like Australian.
Yeah.
Okay, we go. We go.
Oh, look at the color in that one.
Okay.
Man. Yeah. Cool.
Alright.
Wait, take the.
Folks, this is a lot harder than it looks. And I'm pretty good with my hands.
It's not so easy.
No, I got this one. Where'd he go? I lost it.
It's quite easy.
Oh, I got me one. Right there, about a 9 millimeter. Nice color, nice skin, good luster. The genius, the bust man, the brains behind the crew.
No. Teawe, haumaka, mahinui, taniera, iniho.
Teeny Ho. You don't look like Teeny Ho.
The days are long on the island, and that's good because we need the sunlight to grate and sort these pearls we've harvested.
Just got it radioed in, and we are set to leave from Makemo on Monday after a $6.50 radio call.
We were the first Westerners to visit the island of Katiu in the last year and a half, but as chance would have it, an English yacht pulled into the pass that day, our last full day on the island, and calls for a celebration. A bunch of foreigners here. In order to celebrate, the islanders held a party in honor of all of us visiting that evening. It was our last chance to socialize before leaving for Makemo that morning. Even the mayor of Katiu showed up.
And this is the mayor of Katiu. He is basically the second largest farmer of black pearls in Polynesia. Last year alone, he harvested about 500,000 oysters, and he's also the mayor of Katiu.
Polynesian people, very loving, kind spirit. They love to sing and dance. They all seem to have a good sense of humor. But don't get on the wrong side of them after they've been drinking some of the local wine they make. This impromptu party was something I'll never forget my whole life. The generosity. This is my friend.
Hi, this is Homaton. He was our pilot driver in the boat when we went fishing today, and then the sharks came.
About to make our exodus from this tiny island, this tiny paradise. Going to a little bigger island in our handmade boat there. We did manage to buy the pearls from Frederick this morning. 106 pearls. I got a bargain. This is Marie right here. She made that lei for me last night. Spent hours. Got up at 4 in the morning to do that. What a wonderful people. And they are sure hurting now for some money. Now, as you see, the boat here, it's a homemade wood boat. And you're putting your life in your hands when you're getting in these boats. No radio. No lifesavers. 11 of us made this journey, and we actually started about 4 times.
You're the sheriff. The sheriff. Chill down, sheriff.
Yeah. Come on, get out of here. I believe this was attempt number 6 here. You see him working on the engine, and the engine's a little rough. This was a false leaving, but we did get out of there, and here we're going across the open ocean.
It's a little bit rough, but it's an adventure, right?
What we'll do for our customers at the Jewelers Web is amazing. But this is how we do it, folks. Get you there and get out in one piece with the best price in the world.
About a 2.5-hour ride across the ocean. We're just now going through the pass into the lagoon, looking for about 400 pearls supposed to be here. Water? Yeah, there's some water down here. Hi, folks. We've just made it to Makimo. We're inside the lagoon now, and they've slowed the boat down. Looking for some more pearls, and then we're going to have another transportation out of here going back to Tahiti. What a trip! About 2 hours.
We're not here
11
yet.
of us.
We're
not here yet.
There's still an hour's worth of a boat ride to get back to the village.
Oh.
The lagoon is so big. We're going to have to cross town about an hour.
About another hour to get to the village. No kidding. At least we have the safety of land around us now if something happens. Like, look at that cool little motu right there. Now we're on rock patrol, huh?
Rock patrol, yeah. Gotta avoid them rocks.
The island of Makimo, one of the bigger islands, this section of the Tuamotus, year-round population about 500 souls. During school, the surrounding islands send their children here to the Catholic schools. There's a Mormon church here also. Women's schools, then we've got about 900 people. The main economy and revenue of the island is the pearl farming. About 27 pearl farms here, and all family operated and owned by natives. No French farms here, no Japanese farms. Now, most of us believe that the Polynesians are the long-lost cousins of the Native Americans. You can see it now.
A lot of bulldogs here.
Not a whole lot of building codes enforced here in the island, and use about every material that's available, but this is what we come for. And everybody's got a pearl, some got 100. They guard them, they cache them, or cache. And we ended up buying this nice little lot of pearls here too, and they were nice.
Your name, Merida? Merida is the mayor of Makimo, and also a pearl farmer, and one of your cousins.
Also has 13 children.
Right.
That's one of them right there.
Okay. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. Good English.
Fisherman, but he's also got some pearls, but not ready now.
Around Round and around the island we go. There's the lighthouse of Makimo.
This is our host here. This is one of Teiki's cousins here in Makimo. He's also the local head cook at the boarding school they have here, and the local pastor at the church up here. They have about 3 churches. You see our ride just arrived to take us to the airport that we had to journey across the dangerous seas for. And we're going to be heading back to Tahiti.
Wonderful people. We actually did buy some pearls from them too. The pearls are just like money here. Down a long, dusty road to the airport on Makimo, 18 miles. 18 kilometers, about 12 miles down this road. Tahiti. Instead of 36 hours, we're going to go on and I'm a little stiff here. I've been chased over the coral reefs from the sharks. I've sprained a couple of limbs, but I'm happy to be getting back to the big island.
Welcome you aboard this Air Tahiti's fully-turned non-smoking flight, flying to Makimo, to Babete. Would you please fasten your safety belt with your seatbelt and table in the upright position?
These are the French ATR planes. Twin turboprops, quite efficient for island work. And they got some hot rod pilots down here. So if you ever travel to these little islands, definitely snug that seatbelt up. Now look at the gorgeous, humongous reef out there at about 10 miles. One side of the island, the reef is covered at high tide. The other side is your tropical paradise with the lagoon in the middle. This lagoon is one of the most highly enriched, nutrient-rich. Now there's another island about 20 miles away. That's called Tanga. Now we've landed back to the big isle of Tahiti with the black sand beaches. That's me up there.
Hi folks, as you can see here, this is from Calixte's farm, and this is 2 weeks of pulling the oysters out of the water and taking them out. Altogether it's probably 1.5 years has went in to farming these oysters for this graft. Altogether it's probably an accumulation of 4 or 5 years work to get the oysters big enough to grow a lot of these nice sizes as we have here. And you see we've sorted it into about 12 different lots. This is one lot right here. It's probably the best lot of 433 pieces. This lot's 272, 260, 71, 30, 107, all the way. So there was 2 weeks of just pulling them out of the water and 2 days of sorting them, calculating our costs and stuff. And we've got down to kind of the nitty-gritty on the financial part of the deal here. And we're throwing the options up, but these are a lot of the oysters that we were involved with the actual farming of them. And now we're here, I don't know if Kiwi's probably telling you, but we're here at Calixte's house in Tahiti. That's Calixte. Calixte, he's like a lot of American businessmen, a workaholic. Okay.
Oh, we're still here at Calixte's house. It's hot and humid. We've been here 8 hours. We're negotiating still, doing everything that we can to try to get the best possible deal for everybody at the Jewelers Web, whoever shops there. A lot of intricate work has gone into this, and we don't want to lose out now over a couple of bucks, and we don't want you to either.
But out of, what was that, 5,000 or 6,000?
5,000 or 6,000
of oysters. We've got 1,575 pearls that we feel are marketable enough, that were good enough out of that. So you can see how rare, how difficult it is to get to this point where we're at right now.
And we're going to call it a successful trip after 3 weeks going to all these islands. We've now accumulated over 4,000 of some of the rarest, most beautiful pearls in the world.